OpenClaw is an autonomous AI agent that's taken the internet by storm during the last few weeks. However, when I analyzed the top 200 X posts about it using the InfraNodus knowledge graph, I discovered something really surprising. In fact, you might want to be very cautious before you install OpenClaw. But before we get into this, let me show you what OpenClaw is. So if you don't know what it's about, you can understand how it can be useful for you. And if you already know what OpenClaw is, you can see how I use knowledge graphs in order to analyze any trending topic very quickly and to also discover some hidden patterns within. So here we have a visualization of the top 200 posts from X that were selected by X itself by relevance on the topic of OpenClaw. The main keywords are shown bigger in the graph, so it uses network analysis to visualize that, and the main topics are shown as the topical clusters. And we can see very quickly that the main topic here is agent dynamics, so we can understand very quickly that OpenClaw is an autonomous AI agent that's used by people to run tasks on their computers. And then another important cluster are the skills that you can connect to it, so that you can make it run your home automations or productivity tasks on your computer and so on. However, check this. If we look at this visualization of the top 200 posts from X on the topic of OpenClaw, we can see that there are two topics that are quite interesting. Token launch here and rewards. So that means that there is a lot of topics that talk about it in relation to crypto. In fact, if you slice off the top layer of concepts from this graph, so I select AI agent and I remove them to reveal what's hiding underneath, you can see that the main topics that come up are crypto building, free access, wallet launch, and airdrop reward. So in fact, a lot of discourse around OpenClaw is centered on the topics of crypto, of token launches, of airdrops and stuff like that. Now, if you combine this information with the fact that the top news on Twitter today is the OpenClaw AI framework booms with security warnings, so all kinds of security problems that exist with OpenClaw, and then you look at this crypto stuff, you understand very quickly that if you have a crypto wallet on the computer where you launch OpenClaw, you're in danger. And in fact, I've seen a lot of posts through this analysis where people talk exactly about that, how there are some skills that you can actually launch on your computer that will provide full access to your wallet, so people had their money stolen and stuff like that. And we're not talking only about crypto. There is also a lot of other information on your computer that OpenClaw makes accessible if you use it not carefully. So you should really watch out if you install external skills into it. And in fact, this is why people also run it on separate computers, like they buy those Mac minis and then make sure that there is no important data on that computer. But I find it a bit strange because what's the use of using this AI agent then? So this is something you might want to be very careful about if you install OpenClaw on your computer. Just check the skills, make sure that you read through them, you understand what they're about and so on. Let me now show you how you can build the same graph for OpenClaw or for any other topic using InfraNodus, and I will also demonstrate a really interesting feature where you can select the terms that you're interested in and zoom onto the specific tweets that are talking exactly about the things that you want to explore. So first you need to go to the apps page of InfraNodus and then you click on promote market research and then you type in a search query or the hashtag that you would like to explore. In this case is going to be OpenClaw. Then you click on information supply and then you choose the X import app. And here you give it a name. So I'm going to give this name to it. And then you choose how many tweets you would like to import. I'm going to choose 200. And I'm using here the most popular ones on X or Twitter. So that means that X itself will decide what are the most relevant posts it considers to be at the moment. And then I click visualize, and what happens is that InfraNodus connects to the Twitter API directly, gets the most relevant posts from them, visualizes them as a graph. And here we have the graph structure. So every word in this tweet is the node, every co-occurrence is the connection, and then InfraNodus applies graph signs to identify which terms have more relevance, so they're bigger on the graph, and then also which of them form clusters. And also as the discourse changes, you will have a slightly different picture every time. Here you see it even went more in the direction of AI trading and token wallets and so on, right? So this is quite interesting. And then what you can do here is just get a quick overview of the main topics, and then you can zoom in onto one of them, for example, here, cloud skills. Then you only see the tweets that belong to this very topic. So that's also a very good way of exploring X posts in this way by choosing the stuff that are relevant to you. So for instance, if I want to see some technical stuff through all this crypto hype, I can just type in here memory agent, and then I can see, okay, someone is talking about how they installed Claw Vault today, locally stored type memory with knowledge graph. So that's actually quite interesting. I can click here and then I see exactly the tweet where they're talking about it, and I find something that I am actually interested about in the midst of all this noise that relates to this AI trading and token wallets and stuff, right? And then what you can also do is you can select the top nodes. So for instance, a lot of posts are talking Claude AI agents, so you remove this and then it reveals what's hiding underneath. So it's like you slice off the top layer of concepts to see what's hiding under it, and then you see this crypto stuff come up much more. So you can, for example, click on airdrop and free and see the posts where they're trying to promote some coin or cryptocurrency, right? So that also is a very good way to find stuff that you might not need, and in fact in this case you can also select this whole cluster and just remove it from the graph so that you get rid of the stuff you're not interested in. What I can also do here is that I can select a specific topic and then have the InfraNodus AI chat with it for me. So for example, here I can choose, okay, I want a summary of this topic on the skills. So I kind of want to focus on the particular skills that people use and see what they're talking about. And here it's telling me, okay, so the OpenClaw platform enables autonomous trading and creative projects by leveraging AI bots. So there's a lot of stuff related to skills that use trading on platforms like Polymarket or creating 3D models also. So here we get past that crypto hype and actually discover some very interesting use cases this way. And we also see that there's a lot of focus on real-time applications and decentralized applications. So there's a lot of stuff about finance and crypto, but also people are building 3D models with it, which is quite interesting. So this is how you can also use the graph to zoom your attention or the attention of AI on the topics you're interested in. And one last feature that I want to show you is very interesting too. It's the content gaps. So for instance, I can select here some gaps in this discourse and ask InfraNodus to generate an interesting research question that would bridge them together. So that is supposed to kind of come up with some innovative idea for this particular context that would connect these topics in an interesting way. And then another feature that is quite interesting is that you can select certain topics, for instance, autonomous trading and skill community, then go to the AI module and then use the Transcend option to push LLM thinking beyond the periphery of this graph, but kind of bouncing from these two topics. And then it usually comes up with quite interesting ideas that extend beyond the scope of this discourse. So this is a very nice way to also see how you can develop this whole discourse or generate some really interesting ideas that are outside of the scope of these tweets. For instance, here it's saying, imagine a future where autonomous trading agents equipped with skills from community-driven platforms like OpenClaw seamlessly integrate AI decision-making into physical systems. So that's interesting, physical system. This convergence enables machines not only to trade and optimize financial liquidity autonomously, but to also coordinate real-world actions, such as energy management and transportation and logistics. So this is kind of like a sci-fi scenario, but it's quite interesting because it's basically telling us, what if there was an AI agent that would connect this whole trading cluster to something that can have a real world impact, of course, in a responsible and careful way. I'm sure that the AI is going to mention that, but that also gives us a peek into the future of what might actually come out from all this OpenClaw hype. So that's also quite interesting to observe, and this is why I like using the graph to actually point the attention on the topics and concepts I'm interested in, and then use the AI to inquire about them in more detail. So I hope you find this approach interesting. Try it out. It's the new X import feature that is inside InfraNodus, so you can analyze any discourse with it. And if you want me to make a video on how to use OpenClaw itself, let me know. I can record another one, and I can also explain how you can connect it to the InfraNodus functionality and, for example, analyze the research papers that you're interested in and retrieve some interesting content gaps using the same approach, or to also help you create content for your blog. So anything you would be interested in, let me know in the comments to this video below. Thank you.